All right, let's talk about what it's really like to live in one of the Charlotte region's most popular spots, Lake Norman. I mean, we're going to get past those gorgeous sunset photos and dig into the day-to-day reality of what it's like to actually call this place home.
You know, there's a saying that just perfectly nails the feeling here, and it goes something like this. If you've ever driven across the bridge on Lake Norman at sunset, you already understand the appeal. And anyone who's done it knows exactly what that means. That moment, the water's all calm, you see the boats, the houses are just glowing in that golden hour light. It's an incredible first impression, and it really sets the tone for the whole area.
But look, a great view isn't everything, right? So what happens when that sun goes down and Monday morning rolls around? What's the commute actually like? What about the schools, the neighborhoods? Okay, let's really get into it.
Okay, first up, location, location, location. I mean, this is probably the biggest piece of the puzzle. We need to know where Lake Norman actually is, and more importantly, how it fits into your daily life.
So the first thing you have to get your head around is that Lake Norman isn't just one town. It's this huge man-made lake, and its shoreline touches a whole bunch of different communities just north of Charlotte. You've got Cornelius, Davidson, Huntersville, Mooresville, and each one has its own totally unique vibe. And this right here, this is the core of why people love it. It's kind of like living two different lives at once. On one side, you have that full-on lake life experience. You know, the boating, the fun, that feeling like you're always on vacation. But then, on the other side, you've got easy access to a major city, a big airport, and all the jobs that come with it. It's that perfect balance that's really the secret sauce here.
All right, time for a reality check. Let's talk about the commute. Because for a lot of us, this is the real make or break question. So you're generally looking at about 20 to 35 minutes to get to uptown Charlotte, which is the main business hub. And getting to the airport, that's about 25 minutes. So what that means is you really can have that escape by the lake without giving up your career or dealing with a crazy long drive.
All right, so you've got the location down. But what about finding a place to actually live? Well, the housing variety here is definitely one of the area's biggest selling points. There's really something for pretty much every stage of life.
I mean, the options are really all over the map, in a good way. You've got your jaw-dropping multi-million-dollar estates right on the water with their own private docks. Then you have awesome communities where everyone shares a marina. And of course, there are those classic, super family-friendly neighborhoods with sidewalks and playgrounds everywhere. It's pretty clear there are different tiers for whatever your budget or lifestyle is.
And hey, what about renting? The rental market here is actually pretty cool because it offers something kind of unique. It lets you test drive that resort lifestyle. You get the pools, the access to the lake, that whole community vibe, all without having to commit to buying or dealing with all the headaches of homeownership.
Okay, so we've figured out the location and where you might live, but what do you actually do around here? What's life really like the second you walk out your front door?
Well, for a lot of families, a huge piece of the puzzle is education. The public schools in the area have a really strong reputation, and you've also got plenty of charter and private schools to choose from. And here's a cool bonus. Davidson College is right there, which gives the town of Davidson this really vibrant, walkable college town energy. Honestly, one of the best things about living here is that your weekends kind of plan themselves. You don't have to pack up and go on a big trip to feel like you're on vacation. You can just decide to go hit the trails at Jetton Park, or maybe launch a boat at Ramsey Creek Park, or go for a real hike at the state park. And this isn't like a special occasion thing. This is just what you do. It's part of the normal rhythm of life here. And don't think it's all just about being outdoors. The food scene here is awesome, and it just keeps getting better. You've got these incredible places right on the water, like Hello Sailor or Kindred, which has gotten national attention. Plus, you have these great walkable areas like Main Street in Davidson or Birkdale Village, where you can shop, grab a coffee, and just hang out. What's really cool is how all of this is tied together with a genuine sense of community. You know, even though the area has grown so much, it still has that connected, neighborly feel. It comes from all these events that have become local traditions, things like the boat shows, the farmers markets, and you absolutely cannot miss the 4th of July fireworks over the lake. It's iconic. So it's pretty clear the lifestyle is amazing. But what about the market? Let's take a quick look at the numbers and see what keeps Lake Norman such a hotspot for real estate. The demand is coming from all over, really. You've got professionals moving for jobs in Charlotte. You have this huge influx of remote workers who are realizing, hey, I can work from anywhere, why not here? Then you've got retirees who want that active lifestyle, and of course, investors who see the long-term value.
Because it's such a diverse group, the market isn't just depending on one thing, which makes it incredibly resilient.
When you look at what supports long-term home values, it really comes down to a couple of simple but really powerful factors. First off, they are not making any more waterfront property. It's as simple as that. When you combine that scarcity with the super high demand for the best school districts, you get a really, really stable foundation for the housing market.
And that rental market we talked about, it's constantly fed by two main groups of people. You have the professionals who are moving here for corporate jobs in the Charlotte area, and then you have all the families who want to rent for a year, to test the waters before they commit to buying. That 1-2 punch keeps rental demand really strong and consistent.
So after all the stats and the lists and the facts, what does it all actually add up to? What does it feel like to live here? Well, it's the little things, isn't it? It's being able to start your morning with a walk right by the water. It's finishing a tough day at work and deciding, hey, let's just go for a quick boat ride. It's that feeling you get seeing kids riding their bikes around the neighborhood. It's a life that's just lived more outdoors.
So if we had to boil this whole thing down to one simple sentence, it would be this. The Lake Norman lifestyle is basically resort living, but with all the conveniences of everyday life. It's that magical mix of feeling like you're on a permanent vacation while knowing that everything you actually need is just a few minutes down the road. And that brings us to the final question, really. We've looked at the location, the housing, the lifestyle, the market. We've seen how it offers this incredible blend of escape and access. So the only question that's left is the one you have to answer for yourself. Could the lake life be your life?